Welcome to podcast number 11, I think.
11. I'm just
11?
making sure that's recording because I didn't want to go through all of that and then have to restart again.
We missed start again?
No, it's fine.
We're in. So yeah, mate, how's you doing? How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been good. So we've done quite a bit actually since, because the last couple of weeks we really more spoke about us and not really given an insight about what's been going on, just because it's been really, a lot's been moving, which is interesting. So we've been running some more ads out. We've gone from a lead form and we've gone over to landing page, because what we found with the lead form is the more we were running the ads, the more we were ending up getting more and more unqualified people. So we decided to switch over to a landing page and then make that friction more. Because what was happening is we were setting them calls. Some people weren't turning up to the calls. Other people were turning up to the calls. And then sometimes we were getting businesses that weren't even particularly relevant, which was quite interesting. Like they'd come through, they'd have no website, this and that. So what we have to do is when ads don't perform immediately, we have to then understand what is the reason they don't perform, and then we have to change the angles. So we've gone for more of the go to a landing page, explain what the offer is, and then put them into a call, but only trigger essentially the goal when we get someone booked into a call.
Yeah, but like you said before, we need to start off with less friction and then increase the friction because like you say, you were wasting a lot of time on sales call with unqualified leads.
Yeah, and to give people an insight, what we have is a qualification. So we essentially want to only be talking to businesses that are really doing about 50k Canadian a month, because anything lower, you generally don't have that money to reinvest into the market and reinvest into the AI, etc. So what we found is, even though some people went into the unqualified bucket, still giving them a call, just finding out what their scenario was. And one of the interesting ones we had last week.
Oh, it's a great call. I had to leave the office. I was like, I'm going to give Alice some space because
That guy was
hilarious.
But I could understand, like, the guy's not really making any money, and he's saying, "Oh yeah, you said you can get me leads." I'm like, "Yeah, explain the process." And he's pretty much saying, "Well, I've got to pay for it." And I was like, "Well, it's work."
Yeah, what am I paying you for? And you were like, well, why do people pay you to do
Well, he
the
said,
roofs?
"Why am I paying you to do it? Why don't I just learn it myself?" And I was like, "Okay, let me just put it back to you. When a customer asks you why they got to pay you that, why do you say that?" And they said, "Well, I'll go tell them to learn to do the roof." I was like, "That's my point."
Yeah.
Like,
It was funny.
yeah, because what he'd done is he'd like calculated fee, set a fee, ad spend, and then he like escalate that out over a 12-month period. He was saying like, "Why am I paying you this much money?" I was like, "Where are you getting that number from?"
Yeah.
And then he turned around and he said, "You're obviously not that good at maths." This is so aggressive.
Yeah, because I remember I listened. You were like, I'm not trying to have an argument with you, buddy.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
let's
like-
put a pin in this. And to be fair, you turned him around and it ended in a nice conversation. And then he started, at the end, he was like, you got a nice accent. I was like,
Oh yeah, he completely like turned like 180 on it, because when I think reframed everything for him and he completely understood, he was like, "Okay, yeah, that makes sense." Because essentially I was saying, "You pay us this, and then we make you a much
yeah,
bigger
it's
amount."
an
And
investment.
he literally went, "Ah," I was like, "How many of these leads do you think you can close?" He was like, "Minimum like 10%." And I was like, "Well, you close 10% of these leads, you're gonna make way
Yeah.
more than what you're paying us. Don't
And,
worry."
and closing 10% is really bad. And you were like, well, maybe there's a problem with your sales funnel.
He said,
And
"What
like,
if I can't close any of I was like, "If I give you qualified leads and you can't close them, there's a problem with your sales process there."
that
And
affects.
then he went, "Yeah, touche."
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, had some sales calls. Yeah, that's yeah.
Oh man,
So
so funny.
the new ads are doing okay with the landing page. We just filmed some new ads yesterday.
Yeah, and you are having a great old time watching them.
A little bit sunburnt. They always take longer to film than you think.
They did, mate. Thing is, it was really, really hot.
Yeah.
It had the last couple of days over here, and what's happened is we went out and we were in peak heat. It was 26 degrees, pure bright sunlight, too much wind sometimes, but we were doing was filming these bit by bit, and then we've done one of the, like, obviously 3 ads, 3 hooks or whatever, but we looked at the clock and we'd done 1 ad essentially in
And we have 4 left.
an hour, an hour and a bit, and I was like, "Oh wow."
I mean, they were. I think, and then
Just thinking about it, oh,
Yeah. Was
yeah.
it was it the was it the first one where you came out the toilet? Or was that like number 2?
That was number 1.
Yeah.
But no, it was the lead when we did essentially, we did 2 angles for the ads. One was focusing on getting people booked in for calls so we could help those businesses. Another one's a lead magnet, and on the lead magnet one, you were just like, "Ah, let's just do something really stupid," and then I come out.
The one, Lula. Yeah, but we'll have to show these guys the ads one day.
Yeah,
Oh, even some of the we could maybe just add in some of them to some of the takes.
well, so the thing is, like, there was one where I just boot the door open of this, that porta potty or whatever, and then just say, "You want the lead report, marketing report or whatever?" And then Rob was like, flex your muscles." So I go, and he's like, "That's the one."
that's, that's the money shot right there. Thing is, there's just so many people who do the same business as us, obviously then market the same way.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just like you say, you never know what ads are going to work until you run them. So it's just funny. Let's just one, the energy was a little bit low yesterday to running the ads because it was hot. So it's like let's just pump up the energy by doing some funny stuff. And two, who knows if they're going to work? Like you say, you might think they're the best ads in the world, but the
Mm.
customer decides once you push publish.
Well, the thing is, I really like in ads, from my experience, all the best kind of stuff sometimes comes from the humor angle because people aren't scrolling on Facebook to have a serious conversation or watch a serious ad. They like a bit of entertainment.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and Riley was like, "You're gonna get hate for that." I was perfect,
yeah, good.
perfect.
What
You
a bit.
want people saying, "Oh, look at those little chicken legs."
Excuse me, my legs are muscular. Yeah,
Yeah, that was good.
that'll be quite interesting. So this week coming, I've got to edit all those ads, get them off the editor, and then we can relaunch them and see what the kind of take up is.
Mhm.
But one of the interesting things is we're opening up that door from Canada to USA.
Excited for that.
Yeah, I think it's just they'll USD is a stronger currency, so
Yep.
we'll see what the vibe is over there. And definitely, I feel that we've met a few Americans over here, and they do have a very I don't know, like, what do you say, capitalist mindset.
Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, that is literally it. Yeah, I think they move a lot faster and they understand marketing more. There's more competition in the US, so they understand that you need to spend in general, not all, but especially Canada is you obviously got the major cities and you have lots of smaller towns, and all the smaller towns business just got referrals. So to them, marketing is just a cost. It's not an investment. So I think there's obviously way more people in the US as well.
Mm,
So what's there, 40 million in the 40 odd in the US? Sorry, in Canada, 40 million odd people in Canada.
mm.
How many in the US do you reckon?
So,
You 100 mil.
do you think?
I don't know.
Maybe 100.
I would say more.
Think, go on, put your guess down.
250.
So ask Siri. How many people live in the USA? Oh,
How many?
340 million.
140. There you
Wow,
go.
that's huge.
So actually, we are open out to like a 5x market,
Mm-hmm.
which is sweet.
Yeah, okay.
It'll be interesting. Do you think CPMs and things will go down to the US or?
No, I think that'd be pretty similar.
Yeah.
I think Western countries just are the most expensive to go to. England's probably a little bit cheaper than USA and Canada, but
What do you think that is?
what Facebook does is manipulate the CPM because they can choose whatever a CPM is. They don't care.
Course.
I remember one time, I can't remember what date it was, but there was some error on Facebook's part where CPMs across the board, which are cost per milli, cost to reach 1,000 people, jumped from the average of like 10, £20, went up to £100. So many people were complaining, and Facebook
Mm.
essentially said, tough titties.
Yeah, like you say, they control. They control. You don't know how their algorithm works. That's why there's not a straight up answer for the cost in CPM to the UK, I guess, because they control how many people see it.
Yeah, most people want to crack the USA.
Yeah.
And but the big five are UK, Canada, USA, and New Zealand and Australia.
Yeah.
So they're the ones, if you can get in there with, if you can service those markets, they're the best ones. Like they're the
Mhm.
best, strongest currencies. Still blows my mind that the UK is such a strong currency, and so is the USD.
Yeah. Well, the UK, I think we'll see what happens over the next few years, how strong it is. But
Yeah, I think there's the potential risk that the currency just flops.
yeah,
But we'll see. That's
There is.
that's a different
That's a
conversation.
different conversation. So yeah, so next week we'll be launching our new video ads. We're going to run some static ads as well.
Mhm.
And we're just going to run the static ads just to test quicker the different types of angles.
Yep.
And then what angles do well, we can then look to run some video ads on top of
Off the
those.
back of 'em, yeah. Well, I would think again, especially for the niches that we're focusing on, humor could be really well received. So just create some relatable like type of meme ads that to get them booked into a
Hmm.
call. So we'll see if any of those hit.
So we're just interested in just try more angles, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But so this week as well, we've had another website launch, building out the AI SMS for all of them, so that we are just to give some context. We run paid advertisement to B2C trades businesses. What happens is then after the customer is interested, like raises their hand and says, "I want to book this in" or whatever, then the AI SMS is the thing that takes over. So it's an AI. They have a conversation with an AI without realizing it, and the AI then books them in to
Yeah.
one of the service calls.
It works really smoothly AI with the SMS because it doesn't even need to be a person. That's
Hmm.
the thing. You don't need that touch point of a real person there, so everyone's a winner. They can the customer can get the information and book into
Hmm.
a call or into a free estimate quickly, and the business doesn't need to speak to them unless they want that.
Mm.
So there's no wastage. So AI works perfectly for that. Like I say, we also do the AI phone receptionist, but always you're better off speaking to a person. Always. That's always best. However, if they're not available, the voice receptionist is a great backup, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the voice receptionists probably will just become more and more like a normal everyday thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I hate giving a call to a company where you then have to press buttons and wait for 30 minutes. I'd rather just speak to, if no one's available, speak to an AI. They ask everything they need to
Yeah.
ask. And then they even say, "I'll call you back when someone's available." I would rather that. I don't want to be wasting half an hour of my time waiting, listening to some
Yeah.
terrible whole music.
They're just like smart voicemails, that's it.
Yeah, but
That's basically what it is.
essentially that. And I think they're brilliant. Would absolutely recommend them to the
Mhm.
max. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's our next week. So yeah, we're launching the new websites, the AI SMS, and getting the new Facebook ads running, one for us and then one for the new client.
Yeah, that's all good. So that'll be pushed out next week. They've got a filming day, I believe, on the Wednesday. So it means just got to get the scripts over, get them done, see what goes in, plug them all in, see what the outcomes are, and then make kind of decisions based off of the results. And from there, we'll have the AOSMS to kind of book the customers into the calendar. So should be a nice, smooth transition for them. Like
Yeah.
they're already super happy with the website. We showed them the load speeds yesterday. 100% pretty much every time. That's nice. So more focusing on everything that's happening in Canada at the moment. Lovely, isn't it? Like,
It's nice. Yeah, whether I mean, except for today.
so
Today's raining.
today's the
That's
first
fine.
day I've seen rain, I think, in
And
Canada.
the thing is, you're so used to obviously rain in the UK, and then when you've come out here, it's just been either really cold
Mm,
or really sunny.
yeah.
So that's the one good thing about here. There's no rain during the winter,
Hmm.
so it's just slow.
Yeah, and that's why you said you moved away from Vancouver, right?
Vancouver's sweet. We love Vancouver. We lived there for a year and a half. The one reason we left is because of the rain.
Yeah, fair enough.
Literally, we don't live in the UK. One partly because of the rain, and there's many other reasons. But we couldn't live somewhere that just rains.
Yeah. Do you know what? I actually forgot where we were for a second yesterday, and just forgot how unsafe you feel in England. That was the one of the things we were talking about. I can't remember what was happening. We were driving for a neighborhood or whatever, and there was just stuff left out on everyone's
Yeah.
lawn.
Little bikes and just splits and pieces.
Everything was just, and I thought, I even thought when I was walking through and they had little gnomes in the garden, I thought, oh God, you couldn't have them like anywhere near where we live in. Jesus Christ. Just get
Yeah.
nicked or like
I know.
destroyed, and then
Smashed.
thing is, yeah, it's just a shame, isn't it? And then you remember, oh, actually, Canada is super safe.
Yeah, in general, I mean, there's
I'm sure there's
everywhere. Same
areas.
as everywhere, there's dodgy bits, but um, yeah, we've lived in Vancouver in different parts, downtown, Kits, and we've lived in Canmore and then in Cochrane, and everywhere has been so nice.
But didn't you say that there's a load of homeless in Vancouver? Isn't that a big problem or something?
Yeah, so there's one, so downtown, Granville Street, there's homeless. and then there's a place called street called Hastings,
Yep.
and yeah, it's like a homeless community there. Obviously, there's a lot of drugs and but generally they keep themselves to themselves. There's still average people going day to day, going to jobs and walking down that street,
Yep.
and no hassle. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not like the homeless in the UK. It's slightly different. There's obviously so much pain and drug issues, and but there are also people that decide to live that way. There's obviously a lot of them who are just homeless because obviously they've had lost their jobs, bad lives. Um, I don't I,
Yeah, yeah.
many things
You're
that
not a
you're
homeless
not
worker.
aware
I
of.
know that
So
you don't know all the
no,
backgrounds.
but there's also a lot of people who are like, I don't want to be a part of society, normal day to day, and then they set up tent down there. Yeah,
Mhm.
so it's a we'll go there. We'll go there once we're flying over to go see the World Cup, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Next
Well,
month, so we can go for a little drive down there. It's different world. It's absolutely crazy because you in the US and things, you obviously have like Skid Row and stuff, but in the US you have one street that is multi-million dollar condos and rich people, and then the next street you have homeless people where it's super dangerous. But the Vancouver is basically all down in one side of East Hastings.
okay. That could be quite an
All of them
experience.
together. So yeah, it's very sad to see.
Mhm.
But Vancouver's brilliant.
Yeah.
We love Vancouver. Summer's great. There's always festivals. There's
Yeah.
always a lot going on.
Yeah, yeah. We got a few things kind of booked in for the next month in terms of there's events going on around here, and really excited to see Stampede as well. And that's
Stampede.
like a Calgary thing.
It's biggest country rodeo in the world, apparently. So yeah,
Wow.
it's
Okay.
absolutely brilliant. We've been there a few years, so and it's always my birthday. So
Yeah.
we'll go there for my birthday. We'll go see the you'll get it's something you have never even didn't even know was a thing that you're
Okay.
gonna see. They do like where the cows run out and then they're like on their horses and they're like catch them and tie them up and there's like barrel racing where they're sprinting around the barrels racing. It's it's great,
Yeah, that's really
very
cool.
cool. Yeah,
And we were discussing actually when we went out, met our friend Corey Hand, and he does all the real estate stuff. But he was
Hanson's Homes.
Handsome Loans. He was saying about Cottage Club because obviously you're thinking about where do you live when you
Hmm.
come back after some weddings, and where are you kind of thinking at the moment? What's your vibes?
We don't know. The thing is, we've kind of what a privilege it is. We've lived all over the world,
Hmm.
and the thing is, there's no perfect place.
Mm.
So it's very hard to choose something. This is the perfect place, as we were talking about earlier. Cottage Club's nice. Cochrana's nice. Canmore's nice. I think we've decided on Canada. I
Hmm.
think. Mm, don't know. We'll see. But we obviously lived in Bali before here, and lived in New Zealand, lived in Australia. Yeah, so you don't know.
Mm.
Is the truth. Right now, we'll just play it by ear.
You said to Canada. You were there. There wasn't a certainty about Canada there.
Well, I think it's going to be Canada. We're citizens here now. It's much nicer than the UK. Thing is, messing around with visas and permanent residency is a pain.
Yeah, but no. So the if it's not Canada, where might it be?
If it's not Canada, where would we move to? I would be keen on somewhere like Spain.
That's a new one in the
Yeah,
mix. Where did that come from?
Spain's. No, we just haven't spoke about it.
You've
Close to
never
Europe.
said the Spain to me. I
Yeah, no,
remembered that.
yeah, no. Just 'cause close to the UK, close to family, nice weather. Yeah, nice little villa,
When
little
did you
pool.
start speaking about this? Why have I not been consulted on your life
Yeah,
moves?
no. That's been it. If Nick was more keen, I'd be keen on Spain.
Yeah, I lived in Spain for a month, and well, maybe it was the area that we were in, but it was definitely very. It was like the Kessa area, very
Mm,
quiet,
yeah.
and I thought I couldn't be there.
It depends where you are,
It
like
depends where you are.
Marbella or there's beautiful places there
Yeah. Okay.
close to Europe. But for now, Canada's good.
Yeah.
Great
Okay.
place to bring up a kid.
Yep.
So undecided. We shall see. To be continued.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Um,
Okay, mate. Well, this is a nice little installment
it
into.
is. What's your thoughts on Canada so far?
Yeah, love it. Really nice place. Definitely. I think it needs on my return. I'm gonna need to find somewhere that is a little bit more lively. I think this area would be great in Cochrane if you had your family here, your dog, your kids.
Sure.
Like that's definitely. a nice way of life because you bring up kids around here, you see them but playing out in the summer. Super
Yeah.
wonderful place to be. I think as somebody that is, we work a lot, and I also like that balance of there's something to do, there's someone's friends to see, people to be
Yeah.
around. I think that's the thing that Cochrane's maybe missing.
Sure, but you kind of wanna go outside and get a bit of dopamine, get some energy, and there's not really that much here. There's not any, like, main core of the center of town to go and get energy, but you've obviously got Canmore and stuff you
Yeah.
can go to, but that's still an hour away.
Yeah, well, I think because of like uh, I'm learning French at the moment. Super interesting. Love the language. I've said I already kind of want to get immersed in the language. So potentially looking at Montreal, we'll see. Kind of just figure it out. I think it will. The answer will reveal itself. Was
Will.
the key thing that I've always said.
Yeah, it usually does. If it the longer you can take to make a decision, usually the better decision you'll make rather than rushing into it, so
Yeah, so I think after I've come back for the weddings and stuff that I've got over in the UK, I'll then kind of have a bit more of an informed decision of where might be the next
and you'll see where your
place.
French is at.
See what level I'm at the moment. Very fixed in the A1 bracket. I did some tests today, and
Did ya?
yeah, she was going through. My French teacher was going through the different tests, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, there were some bits that were really hard." And she was like, "Adam, it's because that test goes from A1 to CE1." And I was like, "Well,
Okay.
right, yeah, okay. I can read questions and messages and stuff, and I can uh, translate them. That's fine. But it's when you actually hear the language and you're not
Yeah,
interacting with the language. That's the thing that makes it harder when you actually get put in the deep end. You're like, oh,
yeah.
okay, I kind of know how to speak it, but then when they speak it, oof, it's difficult.
Yeah, because you have to the exam that you have to is reading, writing, listening,
Yep.
and speaking.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. So there's a
it's
lot.
difficult.
There's a lot to
Because if
do.
it's just speaking, I see just one of them, you can learn it much quicker, but all of them is difficult.
I actually would say that my reading and writing is stronger now, like than my speaking
Mm,
probably. But that's only because the reading and writing, you get the time to figure it out, and then you
sure. Yeah, speaking is now.
yeah, like my brain has to listen to what someone says, translate it,
Yeah.
unless it's like something that's like a regular conversation. But then it's like, all right, okay. Then I have to figure out even songs. I'm like, okay, I kind of get the gist of that. But
Fair play. Fair play doing that while we're running a business, moving to a new place and learning French.
there's a lot on the plate. But
It's a lot.
it's all right. So life is good when you've got a challenge in there. Be sad if it was boring.
Progress, baby.
I
Yeah. Cool. Is there anything else we need to cover this week? I think that's
think it's a nice, relaxed one.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week, man. Be a good one.
Yeah. Busy week. So to get back to it.
Cool.
So
Like and subscribe,
like
baby.
and subscribe, baby.